caught up and literally arse on show, walking around.
Quick one before we get started. I love a good podcast, and I love it when you get a really good recommendation for something that you might not have discovered yet. So this week I've been listening to Idle Gossip with Natalie and Emma, and it is just the most fun, fabulous little bit of escapism into the world of celebrity gossip. The girls are amazing. The chats are hilarious. I'm going to link it in the description below, so definitely check that one out. Welcome to Off the Hanger. Now, admittedly, I might be a bit overexcited about this week's guest. It is TV presenter and fashion stylist Nicky Hambleton-Jones. I love 10 Years Younger, and so it was an absolute privilege to chat to Nicky and find out about all the fabulous things in her wardrobe. Nicky, thank you so much for being part of Off the Hanger. It is an absolute privilege to have you with us. I watched you so much on TV on 10 Years Younger, and I am very, very excited this morning.
Hi Emma, thank you for having me. It's great to be here, and it's always nice to have a 10 Years Younger fan.
Now, obviously, fashion is a huge part of your life, but were you always into fashion?
Always. I mean, from a young girl growing up, I grew up in South Africa, which I wouldn't call the fashion capital of the world, but I was always obsessed with magazines and trends, even though trends were nothing like they are on the scale over here. I was always playing dress up in front of my mother's mirror in her bedroom, and just loved clothes and dressing up, and had some dubious styles in the day, but it was, fashion was a very big part of my life for sure.
And what would you say is your earliest fashion memory?
My earliest fashion memory is probably I had these amazing fuchsia pink ankle boots when I was probably about, I must have been a teenager actually. It was always stuck in my mind. Fuchsia pink ankle boots, and I wore these boots, I wore them over fishnet tights because they were very in at the time. But in between the boots and the tights, I had black socks with silver and black stripes across the top. So you had the fishnet tights into the black and silver striped sock into the bright pink boot, very 80s. And then I had a very short black mini skirt, and then a big black with silver kind of pattern on it, very 80s sort of style sweatshirt that was kind of very baggy on top and then really tight around the hips, that kind of vibe. And then big teased hair probably there as well. So I don't know if I've still got that photo, but that's definitely one of my earlier fashion memories, I think, just because there was just so much going on in the outfit and so much thought had gone into that look. But looking at it now, it's probably not something I would do.
But at the time, you were probably the height of fashion. I love that you'd put so much thought into it. Even early on, you were thinking really about styling outfits.
Yeah, it's actually an outfit that would probably fit well into the London scene, but it was very out there for South Africa, I can assure you.
Do you tend to hang on to things? What's the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
Actually, I'm not someone who hangs on to things massively, because I'm all the believer of, having a compact wardrobe and wearing, or having things in your wardrobe that you wear and use a lot rather than lots of things that you might fall back on one day. But if there are things that I do keep, it's accessories and coats. So I'm a big collector of coats. So one of my oldest items in my wardrobe is actually this leather vintage coat, which actually I inherited from one of my friend's mums, who used to be really, really fashionable in her day, and she had these amazing clothes, and then she just got older and stopped wearing them and didn't fit into them, and she was getting rid of this, and she said, would I like it? And I was like, hell yeah. It is faux fur. I don't think it's not real fur, just in case you're wondering, but it's just so gorgeous and glam. It's actually not very practical in the sense that it's not really warm, but it means you can wear it all the time, all year round. But yeah, this is probably from the 1970s, I think circa late 60s, early 70s. But I just love it. And I don't wear it a lot, but when I do, I just feel amazing in it.
It's fabulous. I love that piece. What would you say is the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments?
Hard to think of a piece because usually it's, I get, that sounds awful, but I get lots of compliments when I wear stuff. I think because it's usually quite colourful and noticeable. And usually it's more an outfit rather than an item. So it was quite hard to think, well, what do I have that's, would be a particular piece. But I've got a couple of things that I picked out. The first one is this gold blouse from Suzanne, which it's a pussy bow blouse. You can have it with the bow or without the bow. But whenever I wear it, everyone is like, oh my God, I love that blouse. And it's just quite unique because it's very iridescent. It's wonderful for winter because it really puts that light into your skin. But it's also it's got a classic, it's a classic blouse, but the colour just gives it that sort of edge, that sort of more of an impact when you wear it. I just wear it with, black, nice, sexy black leggings and a belt or something, and that's it. That's all you need. So it's a really easy piece, but I think it's the fabric and the colour that really gives it that wow factor. So that gets a lot of notice when I wear it. And the other thing is this suit. It's nothing fancy, but it's got a real statement checkerboard or houndstooth print with trousers to go with it. And again, it's just something that when you wear it, no one misses you, right? But I just love it. Whenever I wear it, I just feel like it just strikes that balance between sophisticated and statement. And I always like something that creates a bit of an impression that's not just putting something on that's nice. I like something that's just got a little bit of an edge to it. And I always feel like this strikes that chord. And I usually wear it with my fuchsia pink shoes, which look amazing when I team it with that. So that always gets a lot of compliments.
I can see why. I love both of those. They're amazing. I think what I'm finding in the podcast is the most complimented pieces that people have tend to be the head turners, the statement pieces, the showstoppers, the ones that are a bit out of the norm. And I think that just reinforces the idea that we should be wearing more of those and less of the boring pieces.
Exactly, particularly in London, which is where I live, that is quite fashion forward. And so you almost need to raise the bar to get the attention. Whereas, if I wore that when I go down to Dorset, can you imagine me wearing that suit in Dorset? Everyone would just be like, oh my God. It would just be like, what is that? But actually in London, it just slots in, but still gets noticed. Strikes the right balance.
What's the most expensive piece that you own? You don't have to share how much it was, but what's the priciest piece in your wardrobe?
The priciest piece is this. You can see it's definitely a coat theme going on here. I guess my investment pieces are coats because they are things that you can pull out year on year, and because a coat is such a statement piece in your wardrobe for the winter. When people don't really get to see your outfit. A lot of the time they just see your coat, and so I'm always a believer in you've got to have an amazing coat. Stuff the neutral coat that's going to go with everything in your wardrobe. Have have every color, have every style, and just have a coat for every occasion. So this is a red Matthew Williamson coat, and it's got big oversized cuffs. And well, I can tell you the price. I can't actually remember. I think it was about £750, and I bought it. Must have been 2006, 2007, so a long time ago. But as you can see, it still looks fabulous. And you know what? It's one of those pieces that whenever I wear it, I feel amazing. So if I've got to go to an event and I'm worried about, I really want to make the right impression the minute I arrive, and it's winter, and you don't want to be running off to the coat room to hide your coat and then bring out your outfit kind of thing. This will be the one that I pull out. And I always feel amazing wearing it. So yes, it was expensive, but in terms of longevity and pound per wear and a real investment piece that still fits, luckily, and I love wearing it. And when I do wear it, I feel like $1 million. It's actually a bit of a bargain.
It is. You've definitely had your money's worth out of it. It's such a good coat.
Isn't it? Just don't see coats like this. You know, when you do, you've got to get it.
Definitely. What's the newest piece that you've got?
Well, went to a few shows on Saturday for London Fashion Week, and I was like, what am I going to wear? And again, it's that, oh, well, I don't want to look totally over the top fashiony, but I still want to stand out. And whenever I just want to stand out without, going overboard, I always go to wear a monochrome outfit. One colour, head to toe, is always a standout factor. So this is actually mint velvet, and I got this red blouse, which again, I love a pussy bow, detail that you can, do it in lots of different ways. So I'm very much into my bows, and obviously love red. That probably comes across, but this was, again, such a gorgeous red. Exactly like the coat. And actually, weirdly, I don't have a lot of red in my wardrobe, but I just happened to pull out those pieces. So I wore this blouse with these high-waisted wide leg trousers together, and it just looked amazing. Just looked really fabulous. And again, I didn't have to add much to it because the colour did all the work for me, and it was just a really easy outfit to wear. It looked high fashion, but again, the pieces are very classic and will easily fit into my wardrobe for many years to come. So it wasn't buying a high fashion piece for the sake of, trying to wear something edgy to London Fashion Week. It was like, let me create an outfit that, strikes a balance with who I am, but also is pieces that I can easily wear on a day-to-day basis as well. So those were my two newest pieces that I bought a few weeks ago for London Fashion Week.
And I think red's such a great colour because whether it's a really grey, miserable day or a bright, sunny day, it still really pops.
Absolutely. And the great thing about red is anyone and everyone can wear red. And it's actually, a lot of people are so scared of wearing red. But actually, it suits you. If you've got dark hair or blonde hair, dark skin tone, pale skin tone, anyone and everyone can actually wear red. You might tweak that shade of colour, but it always looks fantastic. And, and I just love red on red. I mean, literally, this look, I'll send you a photo, had a red bag, red shoes. Everything was red because it was all about the colour and not about the individual pieces. So I just blended it all together.
It sounds fabulous. Are you quite sentimental when it comes to the pieces in your wardrobe? Do you have a most sentimental piece?
I do have a sentimental piece, but I wouldn't say I was massively sentimental. Investment pieces, yes. Like that red coat, obviously I'm not going to give that away because I just love it. But I do have a piece that is, I guess, probably the most sentimental piece, not because it's emotionally tied to anything, but just because it's a really beautiful piece. So I'll show you this. So this is a D&G little very SJP, Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City, and I just love it. Hand painted flowers. It's just beautiful. And I don't even think it fits me anymore because I've now 2 kids later. I'm not sure I'm going to get the corset around my boobs, but it's just so beautiful. And it's just one of those pieces that just makes me feel young just looking at it. And I don't know, it's a showpiece. I mean, I could even have this on display in my office or something like that, right? It's just not something I would ever want to part with. And I think my daughter's not into fashion at all, but you never know, one day she might want to wear this. So I'm holding on to it because it just reminds me of my heyday and lots of events I wore it to, and it's just got that Sex and the City nod to it.
I love it. It's such a beautiful piece and just fabulous memories entwined in there. What would you say is the piece in your wardrobe most sums you up?
Most sums me up. Well, apart from all the red.
All the colour.
All the colour. Well, there's more colour for that. I was thinking, well, you know what? I think Loud and Proud. So this tangerine suit, oh my God, it's just the most amazing suit. And I love wearing it. And I'm very much, I was thinking about summing me up. Well, I'm all about colour, so that sums up the vibrancy of my style personality. But I also love tailoring, because I think as we get older, it's very easy to look sophisticated and feel elegant in a tailored piece. So a tailored suit and a vibrant colour is like my go-to fallback for any a work meeting or something when I want to make that right impression walking into a room. So that would probably be a piece or two pieces that would sum me up perfectly.
And there's such a versatile piece, because I think a piece like that, you could be wearing it with like white trainers and a t-shirt, but then in the same sense, you could wear it to an event with heels or a wedding or, like you say, a business meeting. There's lots of wears you can get out of that.
Exactly. So I've worn it, I wore it to Chelsea Flower Show with white trainers and a clashing neon pink blouse. But I've also worn it to an event with a navy floral blouse and heels, so a little bit more toned down. And I've also worn the trousers on their own and the jacket on their own with jeans. So it's so intimidating when you look at it for a lot of people, because they think, oh my God, bright orange like that is just no way I'm going near that. But if you put it together in the right way, it doesn't need to be intimidating, because it's all about the look. It's not about the items. That's what I always say to clients. It's, don't look at the items, just worry about the look. And if the look works, then people will only look at the whole picture and go, wow, you look fat. They're not going to go, oh my God, you're wearing orange trousers.
That's such good advice. Now, I'm very open with my wardrobe malfunctions and my fashion faux pas, which the wardrobe malfunctions, I say, are possibly the most regular occurrence. Are you somebody that these things happen to as well? Would you like to join my club?
So wardrobe malfunctions, I've had a few actually. Well, it depends what you call a wardrobe malfunction, I guess. I remember sitting in a meeting talking about a big fashion event, and it was at a magazine's head office. I can't remember what the magazine was. And with all these cool fashion journalists discussing this event. And I was wearing some trendy outfit. I think waistcoats were quite in then, as they are now. Waistcoat with the blouse, and it's all feeling very, very cool. Left the meeting and realised I had the label for my newly purchased waistcoat hanging out the back the entire time of the meeting. And I was absolutely mortified, just trying to set the right tone, be really cool, and then literally had the label from warehouse. It wasn't even like it was from a designer brand. It was like a warehouse label hanging out the back of the waistcoat the entire time of that meeting. Mortified. So there was that. And there was another time when I was in the middle of filming 10 Years Younger, and I think we'd finished filming for the day, and I thought, I'll go and have a browse through Topshop or something, and went browsing through Topshop. I'll go to the loo, went to the loo, came out from the loo, browsing through the shoes section, and this girl comes up and is going, excuse me. And I was like, do you know what? I just want to be left alone today. I just don't want to have, hi, are you the girl from 10 Years Younger? I wasn't in the zone, and I was like ignoring. And then when she comes up, she grabs my arm, and she's like, excuse me. And I turn around and go, yes, I am. And she goes, your coat is caught in your knickers. I was like, literally had gone to the loo, and my coat had just got caught up, and literally arse on show, walking around Topshop thinking, oh no, please don't interrupt me, we don't want any interruptions right now, just trying to help. So yeah, never forgotten that little wardrobe malfunction. So yeah, it does happen to me too.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad. No offense, but I'm really glad that you are part of the club.
I think we all are. I mean, it just happens, right? Your heel breaks on the way, and then you're kind of trying to walk straight and half of your heel's hanging off. Yeah, it just happens.
It's just a thing we all have to deal with.
I think it's just hold your head high, risk the outfit, hope you distracts the malfunction, right?
That's it. You've got to hope for the best. Just keep moving forward confidently and just pretend it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Are you quite a shoe lover? Have you got a favourite pair of shoes?
Well, I I am a shoe lover, but I'm not like obsessed with designer shoes or anything like that. So my fuchsia pink shoes that I showed you earlier are definitely one of my favorite pairs. So I just love those for the color. It's just really, could wear jeans and a white t-shirt and it makes the whole outfit look amazing. And my other favorite pair actually is these gold boots, which I love wearing under dresses in winter. Yeah, I just absolutely love these boots, and you can probably, I'm sure a lot of people think I'm too old to wear them, but I just don't care. And they just brighten up a dress or an outfit, particularly on a cold winter's day when you just want to add that little something extra. And I always layer my gold boots under a long dress. So that those are probably my favorite. And actually, I mislaid my boots. And I don't know if I left them somewhere, my gold boots. I was mortified. I just absolutely loved them. Managed to find another pair on eBay. So I bought those as well. And then about 6 months later, discovered the first pair of gold boots in my shoe cupboard, and I just put them in the wrong box, right?
Oh no.
I now have 2 pairs of the same gold boots. I'm very dedicated, but at least when one dies, I have a backup.
That's it. When they're your favourites, it's really important to have a backup pair.
Exactly, but you can't do that with everything. Obviously, you'd be broke otherwise, right?
You'd be broke and also swamped. You just have too much stuff everywhere. Now, is there a fashion item that you're lusting after, a dream piece that you don't already own?
As I said, I think I only tend to spend, if I'm going to, spend money on an item, it's usually an accessory, handbag, or jewelry, or a coat, things that are really going to stand the test of time. Otherwise, I'm quite fine with, high street type pieces. But there's one thing I really lust after, and I'm a big belt person, by the way, which hasn't really come into today, but I love belts, obsessed with belts. I have tons of belts. Never have enough belts. And it is the Valentino V logo belt, waisted belt. Do you know that one?
It's on my list as well.
Great minds. Yeah, so at £500 for a belt, I would need to really work hard, I think, to achieve that. But again, it's an investment purchase, but it's something you would have forever. And the great thing is they double-sided, so you get 2 for the price of 1. This is how I'm talking myself into it. You can see how that's working. But yeah, that V logo Valentino belt would be my lust piece for sure.
I have a little watch list of them on Vinted, and I keep thinking, oh, I'm gonna just buy one of them. When the colour comes up, because I want the tan and black, and I keep finding the black and red.
Oh, black and
red.
red.
I want the tan and black.
And what are they priced at on Vinted?
About 200.
So much like half price.
Yeah. So some of them are pre-loved. I think some of them are new, but yeah, I'm just waiting for the right one.
Yeah.
And in the right size as well, which is just,
That's a good choice, isn't it? Summer, winter, you've got both options.
Exactly. It'd go more with my wardrobe. I don't know that I'd have much use for a red belt.
Oh, darling. But then you don't. If you did have one, then I would find lots of ways for you to use it.
I'd be ringing you for advice. How should I wear my red belt?
Go with your jacket that you're wearing today. You can wear the red belt.
Exactly, with my red lips.
Yeah, be amazing. You see? One outfit.
I think I should just get the black and red one. Now, do you have a piece of fashion advice that you would give to your younger self?
I think, well, it's so difficult, isn't it? Because I love fashion anyway. But I think it would be, don't be a clone. Don't follow the mold. Embrace your individuality. Yes, it's important. It's, as a teenager or you naturally follow trends and you want to do what your friends are doing and keep up with the Joneses and all those things. But I think if you can dare to just be a little bit more individual so that you just don't look like everybody else and feel confident and comfortable with that, it just sets you in good stride and when you get older, because sometimes I think people, when they're young and they're supposed to be experimenting, often they're so busy worried about what other people, what their friends are thinking, that they will dress exactly like their friends. And then it's actually what they don't realize is you set that in stone, and it's much harder to break out of it as you get older and embrace yourself and experiment with different things. I mean, I did experiment. I had some crazy outfits. I guess I was doing that. But there was always an element of like, oh, what will everyone think? So maybe I won't do that.
That's amazing advice. Thank you so much for being part of Off the Hanger. You've been an incredible guest.
Oh, it's been great to be here. I've had so much fun. It's actually been really good to go through my wardrobe and think about the emotional connection to different pieces. So that's been a really fun experiment to do. And I can't wait to get that red coat on ASAP now the weather's changing again.
Oh, it's the perfect time.
And good luck. Let me know when you buy that belt, because that might
Yes,
me
I will do. I'll put it on my Instagram. I'll tag you in it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube or give this a rating and a follow.